Yo guys, TechTuber here, unboxing the much awaited Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. So without any further ado, let's get started. Before starting the video, I'd want to thank my friend Matthew Moniz for being a part of the video, and to know what he has to say, make sure you stick to the end of the video. The box seems to be usual with the S8 Plus written in the middle. Now opening up the box, you get the phone itself. We'll come back to it in a bit. Next you get the travel adapter that supports fast charging. You also get a USB Type-C cable, OTG adapter, micro USB to USB adapter, documentation, SIM ejector tool, and the AKG made earbuds, which is quite good gesture by Samsung bundling them into the box. If you'd buy them separately, you'll have to spend an extra $100. So now coming back to the phone, let's turn it on. It has a 6.2-inch Super AMOLED display with 84% screen-to-body ratio, 1440 by 2960 resolution, and a PPI of 529. It also has Gorilla Glass 5 protection, a always-on display, and that infinity display seems to be gorgeous. I am liking it. And yes, it has that HDR technology if you care for it. Samsung always makes good screens, and the S8 Plus and the S8 no doubt has one of the best displays. It's vivid, sharp, and it's so mesmerizing. Now I know it's a little bit difficult to figure out the actual quality of the display over camera, but trust me guys, it's phenomenal. The phone is very well built up of glass, and as usual, no doubt every bit of it feels premium. The phone weighs at 173 grams and feels very light to hold. It also has Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the back as well, and yes, since it is made up of glass, it is slippery and scratch prone. But that can be fixed if you be careful with it, or in case if you happen to be a clumsy person, then use a skin or a case on it. It is also IP68 certified, meaning it's dust and waterproof. It is super tall because Samsung got rid of the bezels on the top and the bottom of the phone, and also increased the aspect ratio, and the curve is there too, as usual. But both the S8 and S8 Plus are curved models. And yeah, due to that tall display, the home button is no longer there physically, but it is still there virtually under the display, which is sorta invisible. But you just have to 3D press or hard press at the bottom, and the buttons will show up with the haptic feedback and take you to the home screen. And the same goes for back and recent app keys. The outcome of this is that the fingerprint scanner now has been moved to the back alongside the camera, which for the camera is smudge-tastic. Make sure you wipe off those fingerprints of the camera before taking pictures. Now let's take a look at the physical placements of the device. On the top of the phone you'll see a hybrid SIM card slot. On the right hand side of the phone you will find the power on off button. On the bottom you will find the USB Type-C port, a speaker, and yes, a 3.5mm audio jack as well. On the left hand side you get the volume rockers, and a very new addition below the volume rockers, the Bixby button, about which we'll talk later on. On the back of the phone there is a 12 megapixel camera that has f1.7 aperture with 26mm lens that has face detection autofocus, optical image stabilization, and dual tone LED flash, which is quite similar to the one that we found on last year's Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge, but this year with few refinements in the processing. And yes, you can record 4K videos as well. What's new is on the front. It has an upgraded 8 megapixel camera with f1.7 aperture that has autofocus and can record videos in 1440p at 30 frames per second with an option for auto HDR. Next to that you will find an earpiece, iris scanner, and some sensors. The phone is running the Samsung's TouchWiz UI, which now they are calling as the Experience UI, and it is basically built on top of Android Nougat 7.0 out of the box, and the screen is now refined as well with new icons, wallpapers, and new app drawer. You can just slide up to access the installed apps, and out of that 64GB of storage you get about 52GB of storage available. Now let's talk Bixby. Now the question that arises is why the heck you would need a thing called Bixby when you already get the Google Assistant. Well, the answer to that question by Samsung is very simple. It can do more better. Basically, Samsung says anything that you could do by touch, you should be able to do by voice. Now, if that Bixby don't work as expected by Samsung, then I guess Samsung might have wasted their hardware space on the phone. Now that's a problem. But you see, Google Assistant has got your back. So folks, that was it for the video. More videos on the Galaxy S8 Plus are on their way, so make sure you subscribe to TechTuber for more tech videos like this one.
What's up guys, Matthew Moniz here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos by Mr. TechTuber.